And a very good evening to you. It is Slimpossible Season 7. So much energy up here at our Citizen TV studios. The hashtag is Slimpossible 7. It is the Rumba edition, and this season very proud to be partnering with the very beautiful Chiki of Kuruka Fitness. And of course, as you just saw, Rumba is big right now as regards fitness. With us in studio, 12 weeks of intense fitness activity for our Slimpossible Season 7 contestants. We started off with 16 contestants. We have 10 left to contest for the cash bounty of 1 million Kenya shillings. Basically, the ultimate winner is the contestant that loses the most weight the healthy way. With us in studio every Saturday right here is Chiki of Kuruka Fitness, and we want to thank our sponsors this season, the Royal Nairobi Golf. We want to thank you for partnering with Slimpossible this season. We also want to thank the Karen Hospital for partnering with Slimpossible Season 7. Our partners this week, CIC Group, also partnering with us on Slimpossible Season 7. That's CIC Group. Thank you very much for your support. We also want to thank Concord Hotel for your partnership this season. Of course, we want to thank Ashley's for partnering with us this season, and of course our very beautiful contestants, 10 of them remaining for the cash prize of 1 million Kenya shillings. We wish them all the best, but remember, elimination continues as the weeks go by, and we will remain with the finalists that will battle it out for the cash bounty of 1 million Kenya shillings. It is Slimpossible Season 7, the Rumba edition, and with us is the baddest DJ on the land, DJ Mike. He is the guy that knows his Rumba. DJ Mike, you know our favorite song. Let's bust a move. I want to say hello to our contestants this season. Contestants, you're looking beautiful. How are you? Let's applaud the Slimpossible Academy. I'm looking at Honey Finn, I'm looking at Mariam, I'm looking at Biggie. Fantastic dancers, and we're so excited to have you still with us in the Academy. Tonight, we want to talk about exploiting your full potential. We want to talk about why you are shying away from taking a leadership role wherever you are. It could be at your job. Are you working at an organization where you are not exploiting your full potential? If you're an entrepreneur, are you shying away from exploiting your full potential? It could be because of what people say. It could be because you're a woman, or it could be because of your weight. It could be because of your confidence. Maybe it's not at its highest because of perhaps your relationship, or other factors that may be contributing to your low self-esteem. Our guest in studio this evening is Betty Wababu. She sits at the helm of Wapcom Ventures Limited as the CEO and Chief Trainer. I'm going to walk up to Betty now. Remember, the hashtag is Slimpossible Season 7. Betty, thank you very much for joining us on Slimpossible. Let's give a round of applause to Betty. And just a brief profile of Betty Wababu. She has served as Communication Director at African Nazarene University as well. And Betty, we want to talk to our contestants about why they're shying off from taking a leadership role. Some of you are entrepreneurs, some of you are business persons, some of you are perhaps employed. So we want to help you reach your full potential. If you're not happy about where you are currently, Betty is the lady that will tell you how to become the boss at your organization. So Betty, just a brief introduction to our contestants, after which they'll be forwarding questions to you. Let's start with a brief introduction from you.
Oh, myself? Yeah. Okay. Congratulations, ladies, for coming this far. This is quite good. Thank you. You have started your journey. It is good. I thank you so much. And Lillian, thank you for inviting me here. I'm excited to be here because I have women at heart. In my heart, I have women, okay? And so I am the CEO of Wapcom Ventures, and I am a communication specialist. And I'm excited just to be here so that you can share a few things and that can help you so that you can be of what you want to be. I'm sure that each of you has a dream, and your dream is valid, and nobody should stop you from going there, and I won't have to have that discussions together, and that is why I'm here this evening. Thank you so much.
Okay, so ladies, like I said, a lot of you maybe are employed, some of you are perhaps running your own businesses, or maybe you're in school like Biggie, but we want to talk about why you're shying away from taking on your leadership positions. We all have it in us, but sometimes we shy away from going for that top position. So I'll invite you guys to now start asking questions. Let's start with you. Is it Gorati? Let's start with you.
Hi, Betty.
Hi.
My question is, how am I going to handle? There's a time I went and asked for a job, and the boss told me that they can't they don't have employ fat people. So they put my motivation down. So from there, I've never gone for an interview because I'm afraid. I just think that they only take smaller people. So what am I going to do about that?
Okay, first of all, it's important to understand who you are. And I think that is where you start first. Knowing who you are, it's very important. Number two, you must also decide that though I am fat, as they say, but for me, maybe you would use any other word, but that shouldn't keep you down, because you have got something better than just the body. Because getting an employment is just about size. It's also about your, what you got in your brain. And so it is important that when you go for interviews, the first thing that you need to do is not to present yourself as any other thing, but first you must present yourself as a professional. And don't feel shy to tell them what you have been able to achieve even beyond your career. Something even, like you could have taken care of children, you could have done something else somewhere else. Please tell them, give them an opportunity. And the other thing is, when you go for interviews, I know that surely it is true that slimmer people are favored more. However, the first thing that you need to do, counter your situation before they ask you. Tell them what you got to do and the difference that you can make in an organization before they talk about your body. Be the first one to talk. Why? Because that gives the employer, because employers want to know, first of all, that you understand yourself, you know that you have a challenge or, a situation of being overweight or something. However, let the employer know what you are doing about your body. If an employer can be convinced that already you know your problem and there is something that you're doing about it, it should change their perception about you. Hi.
My name is Biggie.
Yes, Biggie.
I'm studying journalism. I have a question. I got an internship somewhere, and I used to deliver at my job, because I would do everything right on time, delivers news, everything, and stories, all that, and report. But I had a boss who was a bit not so into people who are plus size. But I didn't have a problem with that, though. I would write stories, get ahead, but when my story gets there, it just gets trampled, and then it just goes down. And then other people who just write other things that don't even make sense, I'm sorry, they don't make sense, but their stories just go ahead and they're published. And then you're deprived of that privilege, and this is what you wanted to do, and you would have gotten this. But you don't want to actually look rude to your bosses that they're favoring other people. So how are we supposed to live well or not be our bosses in our own workplaces?
Okay. First of all, the first thing that you need to do, Biggie, is that first build your confidence. So that because most times people allow others to get into them through the words that they tell them. So the first thing that I would advise you is to believe who you are. Because when you believe who you are, then what people say, because you have no control of what people say, but you have power to prove them wrong by the way you exhibit and disposition yourself. So the first thing that you need to do is that work on your confidence, and just know that you must believe first in yourself, and two, that you have to tell yourself positive things about yourself. So I think, and I just want to counter this conversation a little bit. She says that she had the perception that her boss was favoring other people. Do bosses actually favor other people, or is my thinking that my boss is favoring somebody else perhaps an issue
you know, that is all about me. The fact that I think my boss is favoring someone else, perhaps. Do bosses actually favor other people?
Yes, some do. That's a fact. Some do, but not all occasions that actually. And that is why I want to address I mean your mind as a person, because first of all is the stories you believe about yourself, that what we call intra-communication, what you talk about yourself, what you tell yourself. Because for me, I do believe that the enemy without is not the real enemy. The enemy is the enemy within. Because you should think about how do you think about yourself, how do you perceive yourself, because then that way sometimes can determine or make you think that other people are being favored. So you need to look at that situation and actually be honest with yourself and get to know, is it your perception and the stories you believed about yourself, or is it actually a situation that both somewhere was favoring another person? And I would want to believe that for you, what you believe about yourself, no one can stop you. The powers without are not the ones to stop you. You can only stop yourself.
Okay, and before we move on to the next question, what if somebody actually believes that this boss for sure is favoring somebody over me? I've done a better story, but my story keeps being, you know, shelved and shelved. Is it wise to take on the boss and actually question why they're doing that, or is it better to just be silent and be a proper employee and not even address it?
I don't believe so, because for me, I encourage my team to talk to me, because it doesn't mean that bosses don't make mistakes. And I think that is where most of us employers go wrong. You can actually, you know, you have to have an open door policy if you want your team to be productive. And therefore, what I would say and tell all of you is that what you need to do is to address it, but with respect, knowing that when you talk to this boss, he's your boss or she is your boss. So you go with respect, but be firm, be assertive, and let her know what your feelings are.
Okay. Thank you for that, Betty. Let's proceed to the next question.
Hello, Betty.
Hello.
I'm not good in English. I'm good in Kiswahili.
Ongea kwa Kiswahili.
Okay. Naitwa Karen Cheri. Sasa mimi niko na shida ya masomo. Naweza kwenda pahali naambia nijaze kitu. Ni kwa sasa siwezi kusoma, nijue hapa nitaandika aje ama sijui sasa nitaandikaje. Naenda kama niangalie ule mfanyikazi wako mmoja, nimwambia nisaidie kuandika. Aniambia kwa nini usiandike mwenyewe? Sasa ni vile ameniangalia vile nimenona, pengine nimengara yangu kidogo, anaona huyu mama ananienjoy. Pengine nienda nitoke hapo sasa nimekasirika yangu, na baka kwa pengine niende kwa manager nimwambie nimeenda pale fulani, unaona manager anakuchukulia vizuri, lakini kabla ujione huyo manager unaweza kukua na kaje juu. Sometimes machozi kwa yanitoka, nasema huyu mtu amenidharau vile tu sijasoma.
Swali lako?
Sasa swali yangu ningekuwa nikichukulia vipi juu sometimes kutoka hata kama sana nimefanya hiyo maneno kwa bank, ningekuwa nikichukulia vipi kuwa nakasirika sana, nasikia huyu mtu naweza, unajua nakosa jambo ya kumwambia juu ya ile hasira.
Okay. Sawa, vile unavyoweza fanya ni kuhakikisha ya kwamba your emotions are in control. Okay? Your emotions must be in control, because how we behave out there makes people perceive us, you know, negatively. So you, first of all, I would advise, if it is in the bank that you experience that kind of a challenge, please go to the bank and see the bank relationship manager and let them know your problem, because we have banks and they take care of people who have not gone to school. You just need to go and talk to the bank relationship manager, explain yourself to them, to the person, to the manager, and let her or she know, she know or she understand your situation, that you're not learned, because you have your story, everybody has their story, and when they understand your story, anytime you go to the bank, they should be able to give you someone to assist you. So you don't have to stay with a problem because you don't have someone to talk to. I think bank managers are there to ensure that that is done. You either see the bank manager or the bank relationship manager. I'm sure that you can be sorted on that.
Does anybody else have a question? Okay, so we continue to talk about what blocks women from taking on leadership roles. As women, you know, sometimes the feedback we're getting, and in fact the feedback we're getting right now, is that we've been told over and over again that our place is in the kitchen. There's some of our contestants that are actually in relationships or about to get married. Are you being told that your place is in the kitchen? And if that is a situation, how to cope with that? Because we know men who are very comfortable with dating you when you have a well-paying job, but the minute you don't have an income, or the minute you lose your job, perhaps, if you know, you were working before, they totally change. So as women, should we be comfortable with taking on that stereotypical mwanamke kazi yake ni kupika, kaa nyumbani, I'll take care of you role?
Well, Lillian, it's amazing that still in this century that people are still believing that women's place is in the kitchen, because even the way we are living today, every man wants to get married to a woman who is bringing a paycheck at home. I want to say that it is unfortunate that it is still happening, because even some men who are allowing their women to work, they keep on putting them down when they get home. And one thing I want to say is that it is really an unfortunate thing, but women must raise above that and must take up leadership roles unapologetically, because you have something that you can, you know, give to the society. What has happened is that this is our tradition. When girls are growing up, we are taught how to take care of the children and how to take care of men. But now when we grow up, the reality is that our paycheck is counting in our families. So we need to have a balance. But that kind of tradition, you must say no to it. And you must go for what you know you got, and put your best foot forward, because women have got a lot to give to this society, and in particular this country. I want to believe that women have got what it takes. So one of the challenges is the traditions, the culture, what we have been told since we were small. Yes.
But then again, with the presidency of Donald Trump, and this is just to digress a bit,
yes.
I was, hanging out with some of my male friends, and they said, it's a man's world. Look, Donald Trump, the most unlikely quote-unquote candidate,
yes.
Presidential candidate, is now president-elect of the United States. And this might sound like a feminist statement, but, men are of the opinion that it's a man's world. So how do you cope with that when you're in a corporate entity where, at the helm sits men directors, male directors, maybe there's just one female?
What I would want to say to women is that, first of all, I do tell people that I am a professional. So before you look at me as a woman, you first see me as a professional, because I've got what it takes. So I think the problem is what women have been told, and as women we have believed it, Lillian. So that is the challenge, and I'm saying it is the stories that we tell ourselves. It is what we believe about ourselves as women. It is true. It is. I know a woman has to work twice harder, Lillian. That is true. But position yourself as a professional, and women must invest in themselves, invest your time, and do what it takes to gain the skills that you need to gain, even in a corporate world. Don't just be just there and waiting. Lillian, allow me to say this. I don't like the idea, especially in this country, where women have to cry, whine, and they want to be given positions on a silver platter. I want women to negotiate themselves through the skills that they have. They have to be given positions because they have the ability. Because when you're given a position, Lillian, out of sympathy, what happens is that you have the position, but you lack the authority that goes with that position.
Okay.
Yes.
And finally, to shut out these voices, somebody here is saying, you've gone to school, you have so much to offer to the world, you are still tied in that space, because if you're beautiful, you're dumb, you're a blonde. If you're overweight, you need to lose weight. So how do you shut out the voice of the skeptics? Or if you're a woman, sometimes, there's been a lot of, workplace harassment where you need to do a little bit more, you need to go for a drink perhaps with the boss. Some women, feel that way. So how to shut out those voices, how to actually excel at the workplace, or even kwa biashara. It might be that you sell mutumba, maybe there's a guy who sells more than you. How to excel at what you're doing, how to shut out those voices?
One, I will repeat myself again and say that speak positively to yourself. Understand who you are. Understand your strengths and amplify them. Then you make sure that you work on your weaknesses. Let me tell you something. When employers see people, or women more particularly, that are overweight, Lillian, one of the things that come to their mind is this. And I want to think just one moment like an employer. One of the things they will think is that if you have not been able to manage your weight, how will you possibly manage a division? How will you manage a certain task that you're given and you're not able to manage yourself? However, I'm saying, believe in yourself, know your strength, and go and negotiate with your strength, and don't shy off to tell the world what you've got and what you can be able to deliver. So you move on and shut off those voices, and those voices can be shut by you. I'm saying that again, that the greatest enemy is within, not without. Because you can't stop people from talking, but you have got the power to prove them that they are wrong, because you can deliver. So it is the way you disposition yourself. It is the way you present yourself to the world. And that is what women we must take care of. Yes.
Betty Wababu, many thanks. She's the CEO of Wapcom Ventures, and she's a chief trainer as well. She is a communication expert. Ladies, let's appreciate her.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Betty.
Thank you, Lillian.
I believe we've gotten value out of our conversation with Betty. We're going to look at the week that was.
It's very heavy for me.
They are focused and also hardworking. What I would like to push them mostly is the competition becomes harder by day, that sometimes they might feel that it's impossible, but it's possible only if you make the right choice of doing it.